Shalom, Shalom, giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha, Hundash. Honors be to the elect elders of the nation of Israel that do labor and teach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to all you Akim, you hopeful elect that's on the highway and hedges, making your body a living sacrifice according to Romans 12 and verse 1. Shalom to sincere believers as well, which consist of men and women. Shalom, Brakatham, and as always, a Baba. This is your brother Zakar Ban coming back with another video. This will be going into the healing, the medicine, which is the word. The word is Yahweh Shai. Okay, as it says, come in the volume of the book. So that true healing and that true medicine is the word that is healing you. Okay, that's giving you that comfort. So let's start in the book of Psalms 147. Got a few, and that'll be pretty much it. Adon Ratazah, this is edifying. Psalms 147 and verse 1. Praise you, the Yahweh, for it is good to sing praises unto our power. For it is pleasant, and praise is comely. The Yahweh doth build up Jerusalem. Now, real quick, on the top of this heading of the blue letter, it says praise for Jerusalem, restoration, and prosperity, which is ultimately the tribes, the elect of the nation of Israel, the tribes coming back together. As it says in the book of Revelation 7, 12,000 out of each tribe. So that will be the ones that will be, the judges on earth, the 144,000. Which is the head of the 1/3. Okay, that would be the house of David. The Yahweh doth build up Jerusalem, because once again, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. And also, this is starting off with the elect. He gathered together the outcast of Israel. He healed the broken in heart and binded up their wounds. Okay, he healed the broken in heart. And them that have been healed up pretty much goes into what? Once again, like the house of the mourning, as you hear me quote. Or them that sigh and that cry. That would be in the book of Ezekiel chapter 9. And the only one that is doing that is the men, all right, on the highway and hedges. Okay, and to the other believers as well. Which is, which would be the, the 1/3. Right? So let's drop this. So he said he healed the broken in heart. Once again, the house of the mourning. The house of mourning. So let's drop this. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Should be chapter 30. Let's start in verse 8, read all the way down to verse 13. Okay, said that way coming to heal the broken in heart. Okay, and to bring back what? The outcast. Why? Because we have been scattered to the to the ends of the earth, meaning on the other side of the earth, in America, the Western Hemisphere. So this is Jeremiah 30, and let's start verse 8. All right, because verse 7 go to what? Jacob trouble. I'm going to go to verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, said the Yahweh of hosts, the Yahweh of armies, that I will break his yoke from off thy necks, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. Okay, meaning what? And T says foreigners will no longer be their masters, because now the Most High is pretty much taking these curses off from us. Okay, so that's what's going on. These curses is being stripped from us. Now we are truly free, but freedom starts with the mind first. My truth make you free in the book of John 8 and 32. But they shall serve the Yahweh their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. And that's what we are waiting. Okay, waiting for the manifestation, of our king, King David. And the head of King David is Yahweh Shai. And also, when we, to throw this quick point out there, the elect is also called the beloved as well. So when we see, David's name, it actually means beloved. So the house of David is all, the beloved. Why? Because that represents, the 1/3, the elect. Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said the Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will serve thee. I will save thee, Salakia, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And this lines up perfectly with Psalms. Let's go back there real swift. Psalms 147, or you can say Psalm, but Psalms 147 and 2 in NLT. The Yahweh is rebuilding Jerusalem and bringing the exile back to Israel. As the Most High, just said in the book of Jeremiah chapter 30, that he, is doing the same thing. So all the scriptures align. Okay. He heals the broken in heart and bandages their wounds. But he said, he bringing the exiles back to Israel. And right now, although we are not in our homeland, we are, we have the mindset of what? Of our ancient ways. Because now we are, as it says in scripture, seeking the way to Zion. Back to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, and verse 10 once again. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. Because this, right here, as you hear brothers say, often, that this was just a prison sentence for the nation of Israel. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. Right now, we are not in our rest. Matter of fact, I got to grab that. That should be the book of Micah. All right, this place is not our rest. Nothing about Babylon the Great is going to give us rest. It's going to give us comfort, or it's going to give us healing. Okay, and it's all good because this is, how it should be. This is the will of Yahweh Shema Shai for our disobedience. Arise you and depart, for this is not your rest. Micah 2:10. Arise you and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. Why? Because this is not our homeland. But when we get back to our actual homeland, all right, and we get deliverance, okay, as I'm going to grab in a second, healing in his wings, right, seeing new bodies, then that would be the actual rest. Arise you and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. Why? Because this place is absolute ruined. As I brought up in the opening, as far as saying the healing and the medicine would represent Yahweh Shai, the kingdom will start off with, the word, receiving the word, so that's the process of being healed. That's a process of actually having the true medicine, of being delivered. Arise you and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you. Everything about America, the education system, right? The schooling system, the philosophies, the religion, the food, the air, everything about this place is absolute polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. All right, it's fine there. Drop that. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's grab a few more. It says, and Jacob shall return, shall be in quiet, and shall be in rest, and shall be quiet, none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, said Yahweh, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations, would I have scattered thee, and make a full end, meaning what the Most High is coming to do, destroy these nations. All right? These nations is going to feel the wrath of Yahweh Shai. Okay? Matter of fact, I got to grab this. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 11. Grab this as swift as I can. Bear with me 1 second. Let's go to Revelation 11 and verse 17, saying, we give thee thanks, O Adonai Yahweh Almighty, which art and was and art come and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and hast reigned, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. As I was saying, they're gonna know the full wrath of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Yahweh Shai is coming to do the bidding of His Father. He's on the right hand of His Father. As they say in the world, my right hand man. Well, Yahweh Shai is on the right side of His Father. He'd be the right hand man, to use a modern day term. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. And the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. Once again, these will be, the beloved. These will be, the elects, the house of mourning, them that sigh and cry, the house of David, to the prophets and to the saints, and them that fear thy name. This only applies to the elect of the nation of Israel, not all Israel. Not all Israel feared the name of the Heavenly Father and His Son. And it's easily, and it's easy to get. Still calling them JC, Allah, different gods. Okay? Gods that, have no power, have no might. Those are not the true names of our Heavenly Father and His Son. And to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shall destroy them which destroy the earth. And who is them that destroy the earth? First and foremost, Esau, Edom. All right, he is the wicked. He's a border of wickedness. When you go to the book of Malachi, chapter 1, the Most High gave him that power of the sword for a reason. All right, he's that red horse. And we go to the book of Revelation, chapter 6. Death follows him. So this is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 11. In the latter, though I make a full end of all nations where I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure. I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. Right? It says, I will discipline you in NLT. It says, for I am with you and will save you, says Yahweh. I will completely destroy the nations where I have scattered you, but I will not completely destroy you. I will discipline you, right? Because we got to go through what the chastisement. If we did not receive a chastisement, then we'll be, as it says in scriptures, you'll be like unto a bastard, fatherless. This actually, this actually shows the love of the Most High. Okay, that He cares. That they call it, in the world, tough love. But I would not completely destroy you. I would discipline you, but with justice, I cannot let you go unpunished, right? Because this is part of our, our law, statutes, commandments. If we were to break it, okay, that that we will feel all these curses. Continuing on, for thus said Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. Right? Why is that? Because once again, these curses. No one can come and take these curses away from us. No one can come and, matter of fact, let me grab this. But Yahweh Shai, no one can come and free us, redeem us, but Yahweh Shai. Check this out. See, I can grab this real quick. I haven't brought this out in a minute, so bear with me. Go to the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. All right, Hebrew 101 with Deuteronomy 28. And 68, okay, said that our wound is what is incurable. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. It says, and the Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again. This is also goes into what? That punishment. Because the Most High said that what? We shall not go unpunished. Okay, we had to go through this captivity. Although it was terrible, right? And it didn't feel good. Okay, but ultimately this shows that we are the people, because as it says in early, in this chapter right here, that this sign, so this shall be the sign for the people, and the nation shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spoke unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. This is talking about Egypt. All right, Egypt represents what? Bondage. Egypt can be likened unto what? America today. Revelation 11 verse 8. Because Egypt was once again slavery, captivity, same thing. As ancient Egypt was, so is America today. Thou shalt see it again no more, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Check this out. Let's go to that word buy.
Strong's H 7069. Kana. Kana.
Kana goes to what? To get, acquire, create, buy, possess, to get, acquire, obtain, of God, originating, creating, redeeming His people. You hear that? Redeeming His people. So no one can cure us but Yahweh Shai. Right? And as we continue, and as I grab, a few more in Jeremiah 30 and then end it off with Malachi, then we're going to see. It says of God originating, creating, redeeming His people. And that lot was given to Yahweh Shai to be what? That great sacrifice, that sacrificial lamb. Because that goes into our customs. Right? A possessor of acquiring knowledge. But the point there is made of redeeming. So when we go back to Jeremiah, redeem, as it says, by, we go to it, redeeming. So no one can cure us but Yahushua. And it starts off with the word, all right, being anointed, the Holy Spirit. For thus said the Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. So there is no one to help you or to bind up your injury. NLT, no medicine can heal you. Okay? Our enemies is not going to heal us. They're not going to give us rest. Okay, as it says in the book of Revelation chapter 11, and as it says, buried dead bodies. They're not going to tell you who you are. Right? There's no rest in this place, as I read in the book of Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, all thy loved has forgotten thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thy iniquity, meaning what? Meaning sins, because thy sins were increased. So that's why we went up. So that's why we went up under these afflictions. So no one can redeem us from these afflictions. No one can, cure us, heal us, bring us back. But, Yahushua. And that lot was given to him by the will of his Father. All right. So let's drop this. Let's go to the book of Malachi. Matter of fact, before I get that, I'm going to grab one more as far as, healing. Because it said that what? It's uncurable in the book of Jeremiah 30 and verse 12 and 13. So let's go to the New Testament. A lot of people like to, say the Old Testament doesn't apply when all the scriptures is, Yahushua coming to volume of the book, old or new. I just want to throw that out there. Hear a lot of these wacky Christians say, oh, that doesn't apply anymore. But anyway, this is Matthew 4 and verse 23. It says, and Yahushua went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom. I made this quick point, in healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. So the same way Yahushua went about teaching their synagogues, why could this where the Jews, as it says in scriptures, always resort? All right. As it says right here in the book of should be Jeremiah 18, John 18 and 21. Salakia. I'm gonna make this quick point. Give me 1 second. See if I can find it. Okay, yep. John 18 and 20. Yahushua answered him, I spoke openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whether the Jews always resort, and in secret have I said nothing, right? Because this goes out to who? Israel. Okay. First and foremost, the southern kingdom, received it first. We go to the prophecies of Zechariah 12. But the point there is that this message, this gospel, the good news is for our people, meaning them that are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's who healing is coming to. So we go to that word world, make this quick point.
Strong's G 2889, cosmos. Cosmos.
All right, this word cosmos means what? An arrangement or constitution or the government. And that goes into the book of Isaiah 9 and verse 7. The government speaking about who? Israel, the nation of Israel. Okay, this is not Okamene. This is not, everybody else. This is speaking about the government of Israel. Okay, so let's drop this. So we see that Yahushua came spoke only to who? The Jews. Okay, that's the order of things. But back to Matthew 4 and verse 23. It says, and Yahushua went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of diseases among the people. And that's the same thing we are doing now. Going on the highway and hedges, bidding our people to the marriage them that are what? Worthy. All right. Coming what? In the healing goes to what? The word. That's true healing. All right. So let's drop this. Let's grab one more. Then we'll close it out. Let's go to the book of Psalms 107, and it should be verse 20. I made this point about what the healing with the word. So let's start just a tad bit. Psalms 107, verse 18. Their soul abhor all manner of meat, and they draw near unto the gates of death. Then they cry unto the Yahweh in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distresses. Meaning what? Different captivities. Okay, because we went up under many captivity, but the primary captivity that that's what happening right now is what Babylon the Great, aka America. A lot of people don't even understand that they're still in captivity. Then they cry unto the Yahweh in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distresses. Here's a point right here. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. All right, from their destructions. He sent his word and healed them. That's a process of being recovered, of being on the right track to salvation, is being healed by the word. And only the sheep is going to hear his voice. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. So that's what's coming. All right. As I grabbed in the book of Jeremiah 30:8 and on down. Okay. He's come to do what? Deliver. To bring back the exile. To bring back them that, that's in captivity. Start out with the elect first. And it starts out with what? This word. So let's drop that. Let's go to here. One more. Right. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1 is speaking about what? The oven, that great day of the destruction of Babylon the Great, and also a great deliverance. Matter of fact, I'll read it. Malachi 4 and verse 1, but verse 2 is the point. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven by the way of what? The missiles, and also fire from chariots, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, said the Yahweh of hosts, and it shall lead them neither roots nor branch. Right? It's coming to do what? Consume. The 2/3 of our people, all the wicked, that be in Babylon the Great. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise. That's only speaking about the elect. With healing in his wings. Speaking about what? Those new bodies. Okay. So that's that. So that's what we are approaching. Healing starting off with what? The word. At Psalms 107 verse 20. Right. And then eventually out of Rantazah, we be those men and women. Okay. The elect, the believers will receive those new bodies. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and you shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Healing in his wings. So let's grab that in the book of 1 Corinthians 15, and that'd be pretty much it. This is so let's get to the point. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 52. In a moment, and in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, the trump goes into what? The prophecies. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. So that's that healing in the wings. Okay, we've been beamed up in the chariots. Going into what? Those bodies, those new refreshed bodies. It will happen in a moment, in the blink of an eye, when the last trump is blown. For when the trumpet sounds, those who have died will be raised to live forever. And we who are living will also be transformed. So once again, that's that healing in the wings. Going into what? Those new bodies. All right. And them that are going to receive those new bodies on the first go around is them that have received the word. Okay. That start the process of healing, of receiving what? That medicine. So that's pretty much it. Right. As far as the healing in the, as far as the word. All right. Let me grab this last one. That'd be pretty much it. Proverbs 4 and 22. I mentioned about the medicine, and that medicine is also the word as well. Sorry, verse 20. My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Proverbs 4 and 21. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. What? The word, the commandments, right? Them that are rehearsing it. Think upon it. Meditate, as it says in Joshua 1:8. For they are life unto those that find them. This is true life, and health to all their flesh. So this is what true medicine. Okay, this is what really leads to what the way of salvation. Keeping this word leads you to receiving those new bodies, as we just read in the book of Malachi 4:2, 1 Corinthians 15:52. So with that, I'm in it there, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahaf, Dash. Honors be to the elect elders of the nation of Israel that do labor, teach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to you, Akim, that make their body live sacrifice, according to Romans 12, verse 1. Shalom to you believers as well, which is the men and women. Shalom, Brakatham, is always about Shalom.